All right, hi there, students. This is Mr. Clucky. We're going to go ahead and talk about your guys' new unit, which is going to be all on sound and non-contact forces. So, what I want to start off with is just talking about sound in general. And we know a few things about sound, right? Sound is, and I guess I should present this here. So, when we talk about sound, and I'll put me in the corner here. All right, there we go. So let me go ahead and make them smaller. All right, so when we talk about sound, what we talk about is this right here. Okay, and I want us to ignore what the title is here, right? But for right now, when we talk about a sound, something that we hear, oftentimes what happens is that we have to apply a force to something. That object then needs to deform, and then energy is then transmitted through the air, and that's why we hear it, right? So the things that we hear is because energy in the form of those waves is hitting our ears, causing them to vibrate, and that's what we hear. So just to recap, to produce a sound, we have to apply a force, the object then needs to deform, and then when it deforms, that energy is transmitted through a medium. Okay. A definition, I guess, of sound in general would be that anything produces sound, there has to be a force that's applied to the sound source to deform or bend it to get it to vibrate. We've identified what that force was for many instruments. For instance, let's think about a guitar. Right? Let's think about a drum. Right? I strum that string, the string vibrates, it deforms, and that causes a sound. Or if I hit a drum, right? I'm hitting the drum with my hand, I'm deforming that animal skin on the top of it. It vibrates very fast. We may not be able to see it, but it vibrates, and then we hear that sound. So I want us to think about a speaker now. So in your everyday life, where are some locations that you might see speakers, or what are some spots where speakers might be found? When I think about speakers, I think about lots of things. For instance, there's a speaker in our classroom so that we can hear the announcements in the morning. There is a speaker in my phone. There's a reason I can hear things on my phone when I put it on speakerphone is because there's a speaker in here. There's even speakers in my headphones. Right, my headphones have speakers inside of them, which is why I hear them. So we've got lots of spots where speakers are at. But what I want you to think about now is how can we investigate what is causing a speaker to vibrate? So we may not know what makes a speaker vibrate, but how can we investigate what is causing the speakers to vibrate? So hopefully you thought of a few things, some things that you might not have thought of that I'm going to share here. So we can make observations of a speaker vibrating. We can just watch one and see those observations. We could watch a slow motion video of the speaker to see where the force is happening. We could ask someone who maybe makes or installs speakers, or we could take the speaker apart and we could look inside of it. All right. So what we're going to do is we can do some of these things right now. All right. So what we're going to do is that we're going to gather some more information about the forces, such as viewing a slow motion video of a speaker vibrating. All right. So I'm going to pull up the video. But while I'm doing that, I want you to find a new page in your science notebook, and I want you to label it "Observing a Speaker in Slow Motion." And under the title, I want you to create a table like the one that you're seeing right here. And I'll hide that button right here. I want you to create a table like the one you see right here. This is going to happen on page 21 of your notebook. So I've got my science notebook here. On page 21, which you should have structured your notebook in the previous task, on page 21, I want you to make something that looks like this. So notice, I got my notebook open. I'm going to have it on page 21. It should be in the right-hand side, and it should look just like this. So observing a speaker in slow motion, and you're going to create a two-column chart that says what I notice and what I wonder, just like is on this slide. And then as you watch this video, I want you to write down in the notice column your observations of the speaker. And you're going to see it visually, but also you're going to be able to listen to it. And then on the wonder side, you can write down what questions you might have as you watch this video about the speaker, or what questions you might have in the video about what you've observed. Okay. And then I'm going to ask you to share a few of those out in this Edpuzzle by typing them out. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's watch this video here once our notebook is prepared. And hit escape, and let's watch this video. So here's my video, and I'm going to hit play. And first I want to listen to it with it muted. Okay, so listen, and I want you to watch this video and make some observations of this. So what things are you noticing about the speaker in this video? Write those down in the what I notice. And then as you're watching this, if you have any questions, write down what things maybe you're wondering still about with this speaker. What things are you curious about? So the video is going to finish up here soon. And again, we'll rewatch this. All right, so let's go back and let's watch this again, but this time let's watch it with the sound on. And I'm not sure if the sound is going to make it through on this video, but we'll try that. So let's watch this with the sound playing. And again, I'm not sure if you're able to hear the sound. Um, All right, so we've seen this video now. I'm gonna go ahead and escape. So again, make sure you're writing down what are some things that you're noticing and what are some things that you're wondering about that speaker. All right, so go ahead and make sure you got those completed. All right, so moving forward here, now that we've talked about that, we're going to transition to something different now. So what we're going to do is, if you remember back, we talked about what are some things we can do to investigate how the speaker works. Well, um, depending on what we're going to do here, so in class we dissected an actual speaker. What we're going to have you do is watch a video of a speaker being dissected. So go ahead and move on to that next task, and watch that speaker. I believe it should be task 3 or 4. Watch the dissection of the speaker and make sure you're following the directions. Hopefully I can get, there we go.